Okay, so did you see what happened with TCS stock recently? It absolutely shot up at like over 4% in one day.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty impressive, right? I mean, a jump like that usually means something big happened. And in this case, it seems like their Q3 results were a real hit.
Exactly. They had some great earnings, a huge order book, and they even announced a dividend. It's like they hit the trifecta of good news.
Right. A trifecta is a good way to put it, I think. Their new order bookings were up to $10.2 billion, which is a pretty significant increase from the $7.9 billion they had last year.
That's a huge jump. So, what exactly is driving this? Is it just the big numbers or something more? I mean, like market confidence?
Well, it's a combination, I guess. The numbers are definitely a big factor. A net profit jump of almost 12% year on year is nothing to sneeze at. But it's also the positive outlook that TCS management is projecting.
Right. So, the future looks bright too. I mean, it's not just a one off performance.
Exactly. And they are saying they're seeing early signs of a revival in discretionary spending in certain areas. That's a huge confidence booster for investors, like seeing the first signs of spring after a long winter.
That makes sense. So, it's like the market is reacting not just to the present numbers, but what they think is coming, right?
Absolutely. And on top of that, they've declared a dividend of 76 rupees per share, including a special dividend. That's like a cherry on top for shareholders, I think.
Yeah, who doesn't love a dividend? Okay, so let's talk about the other part. I mean, the whole market reaction, right? Because other IT stocks jumped up too.
Yes, it's like TCS lit a fire under the entire IT sector, actually. Infosys, Wipro, and Tech Mahindra all saw their stocks rise too. It's like when one domino falls, others follow.
So a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So what about the workforce? I mean, I think there was mention of that as well.
Yeah, their workforce actually declined by about 5,000 employees in the last quarter, but the overall base is still huge at 6.07 lakh. And, their attrition rate is at 13%, which is a key number to watch.
Okay. So a slight dip in headcount, but still a massive organization. How does all of this, fit into the bigger picture of the IT sector as a whole?
Well, it's a really positive sign. TCS, being the industry leader, sets the tone, I guess. Their strong results and positive guidance suggest that the IT sector, is more resilient than some might have thought.
Right. And I think I saw some experts saying that the commentary is positive for the next few years, right?
That's right. Their outlook is the most positive in 2 years, which led to a surge in buying across the IT sector. It's like a vote of confidence for the entire industry.
So it's a big deal for the other IT companies who will report earnings later, I think.
Yeah, definitely. With TCS showing such strong results, there's a lot of anticipation and, perhaps pressure on other companies to perform similarly. It's like the bar has been raised a little bit.
Makes sense. Okay, now I read something about a land deal in Bengaluru that they acquired from a Tata Group firm, right?
Yes, they acquired a land bank in Bengaluru for 1,625 crore rupees, which further signals their confidence and investment in future growth. It's like they're not just thinking about now, they're planning for the long haul.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is, huh? That's, I guess, a good sign of their long-term vision.
Exactly. And I think all these things combined, the financial performance, the positive guidance, and strategic investments have really boosted the market's faith in TCS and the broader IT sector.
Okay, so in summary, it's not just good numbers. It's more like a solid outlook. I mean, a confident outlook for the future, right?
Yeah, it's like TCS has laid a strong foundation for the IT sector's future performance. It's more than just a quarterly spike. It seems like the beginning of a more sustainable growth trajectory.
Okay, and how do you think this will affect the market, over the next, let's say, couple of weeks or months?
Well, I think we can expect continued positivity in IT stocks, especially if the other big players report strong numbers next week. It could be a good time for investors to keep a close eye on the sector. It's like the spotlight is firmly on IT right now.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. Now, what was that one expert saying about the demand revival, something about discretionary spending?
Right. So TCS's comments on early signs of revival in discretionary spending are positive and could set a good undertone for the rest of the year. That's like, when consumers start spending more, That's good for businesses and the market.
So, like, people are opening their wallets again, and that's trickling down to the IT sector, right?
Precisely. It's like a chain reaction where one positive indicator leads to another. It's like when you water a plant, you expect it to grow. These are good signs,
Got it. And the fact that the Nifty IT index was the only one in green, well, that says a lot. I mean, it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It does indeed. It clearly shows that the IT sector is standing out and, making a strong impact despite the sluggish overall market. It's like the IT sector is a beacon of hope right now.
So basically, TCS's Q3 performance and all of its commentary, it has a ripple effect in the entire IT sector, I think.
Exactly. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the overall sentiment, the confidence in their future performance, and the strategic steps they're taking. It's like watching a master chess player making their next move.
Okay, so what should people, be keeping their eye on next, do you think?
Well, I think it's definitely worth watching the upcoming results of the other major IT companies. Also, keeping track of any further signals about demand revival would be crucial.
So, like seeing if the other companies are following the same positive trend as TCS, it would, reinforce this optimism.
Exactly. It's like waiting to see if the other dominoes will fall in the right direction and, continue the upward trend in the sector. It'll be a very telling sign.
Right. So it seems like a pretty solid outlook then. If all things go well, we should be expecting good things from the IT sector.
Yeah, Anna, it really underscores how important the IT sector is to the economy and, the overall stock market. It's like a powerful engine that drives growth and innovation.
Okay, so big things for the IT sector, it seems. And the market is definitely paying attention now. What's the one key thing people should take away from this, do you think?
I think it's the fact that a company's performance and outlook can really drive market sentiment and affect an entire sector. TCS's results are a great example of that, like a beacon showing how much influence these key players have.
Absolutely. And it seems like there's more to this than just a short-term bump, right? More like a foundation for solid growth in the future.
Yeah, it's like watching a building being constructed brick by brick. The foundation is laid, and now we are seeing the structure beginning to rise. It'll be interesting to watch the IT sector going forward.
It will be. So, what are you thinking? Are we going to see more of this positive trend? I mean, should people be taking another look at IT stocks now?
It certainly seems like it, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye on the sector. The market is watching very closely to see if this positive momentum continues. It's like watching a very promising race and waiting to see if the leader maintains the pace.